Okay.
Can you see both of us?
Yeah. No, I'm looking at.
Huh? What do you mean, no?
Start over.
It's going to be number 3. Porch Settin number 3.
Let's see your see your nose there. I think I found the right one. Yeah. There we go. Hey, y'all.
Man,
We're not good when we try new things.
yeah. Let me get this thing going and I'll explain to you what I was trying to do. It didn't work out. Okay. I guess everybody can hear me okay, right? Am I plugged in? Yeah, I'm plugged in. Okay. Usually I just go live. I don't preset it, to warn everybody 24 hours ahead that we're going to do this or do that. I just don't do that too much on live stuff. I just like to impromptu just do it. Well, people was asking about that, saying they don't get notified. So I'm trying to work a way around that notification a little bit. So I went straight to YouTube this time, and I set up that notification to alert everybody. Because then there's another notification button that you have to click on. Not on the YouTube where you hit the bell, notify me, not that one. If I put up a notification with YouTube like 24 hours early, if you notice there was another notification button. You click that one, and I thought maybe that one would go around the first notification button. I know this sounds ridiculous. I know it does. And I thought maybe that'd go around. Well, I did it for myself, and I got notified on my phone that we're going to. But the problem was I came out here, and it had a clock saying you're live in 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. But there was no button to click to say to go live like it normally has. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I went into the big computer while you guys are waiting. I went into the big computer to see if there was a go live button in there. No. On the iPad, no. I couldn't figure out how to go live. I thought it would do it automatically, but apparently not. So I just went ahead and deleted the whole thing, started number 2. Number 2 was going very well. I put the thing up there, and all of a sudden a notice came up and said that my, whatever they call that, where the screen will turn when you turn the computer or your phone, you know how it flips around. Mine said it was locked. I don't understand why it was even locked. I didn't do anything. So I did away with that one because now I'm starting to panic a little bit to get on here. And I started a third one, and it's working fine. So I don't know how that YouTube Go Live thing works. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to play with it some more, I guess, and try to figure it out if I'm going to use it. Either that, or I'm just going to start using my StreamYard out here because I know exactly how. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We're getting all kinds of notifications on the iPad here. I don't have no idea what's going on.
Okay. William says, is there a black loofah with a white dot that means we listen to Skip Smith?
Yeah, listen to me get aggravated with this stuff.
William, you kill me. Yeah, Jerry said, did you charge the iPad?
Yeah, it was charged. That wasn't a problem at all. Sometimes you saw it, it popped up twice, and we're just sitting here doing nothing.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. Sometimes I'll tell you another one. I got a special email, not an email, a video mail from the CEO of YouTube. And it says that I have 7 days to accept the new YouTube terms, the agreement thing, as a creator, or I won't be allowed to video or post any videos or stuff anymore. I have 7 days to do that. So I go to my email and I click on the YouTube thing. I'm real leery about this stuff because, I got hacked once. So I'm really leery about this AI thing going around. And so I went to download the agreement. I went to download the agreement. My virus scanner popped up and said, we just stopped a virus. And when you click on it to find out what virus it stopped, it was on that YouTube video. So now, is that a real YouTube thing or is that some scammer? I don't know.
I think I would contact YouTube and find
I
out.
sent, yeah, but I sent him. But if this is legit, I got 7 days. Sometimes it takes YouTube a month to get back to you.
Well, I don't know. There is everybody today. Yeah, it's been one of those days. We started off good. I said that it's nice out. It's a little bit cloudy, but not bad. I mean, it's the big white fluffy clouds. I said you like those, but otherwise it's nice little breeze. And I said this is tonight. Tonight is market night at Brownwood, and I think I might go up there tonight because I haven't been for a while. I don't think I've been to market night since before COVID. And they kind of changed it. You know, they used to have it every week. They'd have it on market night, and I said they've changed it to once a month now in each area. I think Tuesday is Spanish Springs, Wednesday is Lake Sumter, and then Thursday is Brownwood. But it's like just the first or second week of the month, so it's not like it used to be. But like I said, I haven't been down there for a while, and that's where we got the guy that painted our golf cart, painted our names on the golf cart, and our name sign out here with our address on it. That's where we got it. They used to have a lot of useful stuff at the market night, so I think I might go up there tonight and check it out, see if they got anything interesting. Yeah.
By the way, it's hot today, and it's getting humid.
Now you just got done saying it was nice.
It is nice, but it's breezy and it's hot and humid. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to sweat already.
Well, yeah, it's in the going to be in the 90s today. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, 90s is hot.
Yeah. But like
There's no such thing as a nice 90s. It's hot.
When the sun gets on this side of the house, which is going to be soon, yeah, it will get warmer. Okay.
Miss Liz says, post a link to this channel on the other channel. You mean on the one we started and then I ended it? Well, people will figure it out when they try to post a comment there, and they can't. You know, they'll just have to come and look for it. I can't post a link. I'm sitting out here on my cell phone. I'm not by a computer.
Yeah.
If Jerry Bell wants to try to do that, that's fine, but I can't do that.
Okay. And I said actually this would be the third, right?
Third, yeah. I put a number next to each one of them. So this is Porch Settin number 3. But it'll be the only one that has an active chat. The rest of them won't have an active chat. They're dead.
And you can see us talking.
Huh?
And you can see us talking.
Yeah, and you can see us talking here. This is the good one.
Okay.
William McGill. Hi, William.
Oh, tacos today. That sounds cool, Laura. They don't do Taco Tuesday. They do Taco Wednesday.
Jennifer says 64 in Kentucky. Been raining off and on. We get rain usually in the afternoon this time of year. It kind of varies. Sometimes we get like a nice spring shower, but more times than not, we just get like a 20-minute deluge of rain. I mean, it just pours, and then it's done. Yeah,
and you know, we have started our hurricane season. Our rainy season starts June 1st, and so we're into the rainy season now, and it doesn't let up until November 30th. Actually, that's our hurricane season. Now, the rain lets up usually by the end of September, where we don't have rain every day. But normally we get some every day because of the heat.
F&S Norris says we're getting smoked out in Buffalo. Is that from the fires up in Canada that I keep seeing about on TV?
Probably.
They're having a real tough time up there. I guess it's one of the largest fires they've had in Canadian history. So is that what it is? I'm just curious.
And Leon says it's cool in Pittsburgh. I know they had that heat wave it went through, and now it's cooled down some.
KM says they're getting smoked from a lot of fires in Iowa.
Iowa.
Looks like the United States is on fire again. All the states are on fire except California, and that's the one that has all the wildfires.
Well, you know, there was a lot of drought this year.
What year ever goes by that some part of our country ain't in a drought. That's just part of your season.
Well, yeah.
It's drought in California this year or the next year, and then it moves over to Indiana. We had a drought over here.
We
I
had it in
remember we had a
Florida.
farm. We sold every cow we had because we couldn't afford to buy the hay because we had no grass.
Yeah. Okay. Sergeant Stadenko, yes, Erie, Pennsylvania is getting the smoke bad too.
And Jerry, no, I haven't. I haven't changed the iPad. Same iPad. I was just trying a different way. I thought YouTube, because I can put the 24-hour notice on there, it would just help out. And that's the first time I've ever done it. I couldn't find a start button, or a go live button. I just thought it did it automatically, but apparently it don't, and I don't know what I'm doing. So,
Yeah. So we'll work on it. See what we can do with it. So,
Randy says, I hope we're doing well and we like your porch set. Well, I'm glad you like it, Randy. I do. I mean, it's something that it's just a little easier for us to do it this way. I don't have to edit, and I can give it to you commercial free for a while. And it's just the editing thing. It's just really getting to be a hard. It's just hard. And I'm not the best at it. I do okay. It just takes a long time. I'll start editing, and I'll be sitting there sometimes 3-4 straight hours editing a video, to the point where your butt gets numb in that chair.
yeah.
And then I'll quit and I'll go watch TV for a while, and then I'll come back and sit in that chair for 2 or 3 more hours to edit a video. I mean that's the way it goes with me. It just takes a long time.
Yeah. And we kind of like sitting out here when we got a nice breeze and sitting under the awning and watching the neighbors go down the street and talking to y'all.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the iPad and how it works and why it don't work, and it's really relaxing. It's relaxing, can't you tell? I'm relaxed.
Yeah. Somebody's waiting for you to do the trucker thing.
Oh, I already did. I hope it didn't get out.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
I don't think so. No. But like I said, somebody was waiting for that, I think.
Oh, I already did. Trust me, after about number 2.
Okay. And Kevin says, take it easy, Skip.
Yeah.
You know how he gets, Kevin.
Now, Judy will be on here in a little bit. She'll go, no cussing, Skip.
Bless her heart. Okay. Had to change it.
Erie, Pennsylvania is getting the smoke bad too. It's got to be from that fire in Canada. That's the only thing I can think of up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen anything about any other kind of fire.
Well, if there is one in Iowa, I don't know about it. But,
Oh, FNS says, yes, sir, it is. It's a fire in Canada.
okay.
And I know that's a bad one up there. Bad. I've seen some aerial views of that. They'll get it under control sooner or later. But, man, I think it said flames were shooting up in the air, something like 300 feet in the air.
Wow.
It is so hot that trees are actually exploding. It's just amazing.
Oh, well, Mr. Marlin, be careful. He said this is hard to watch while driving in heavy traffic.
Don't watch this. What are you doing?
Yeah, turn it off.
Yeah, just listen.
Yeah, it will be recorded. You can watch it later.
There's nothing here to see. Just listen to us talk, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought about doing that. I thought about taking, say, 15 to 20 or 30 minutes of just the audio on this, and I can do this. Maybe edit out all the blank spaces and all the stuff that really isn't much anything, and put it together. And I thought about starting to post that on like my YouTube channel and my Patreon channel for people that like to listen while they're driving down the road. Then they can listen to us talk out here without worrying about watching something. What do you think? Let me know what you think, because if it's not going to be worth it, I'm not going to do it. It's just more crap I got to do.
Well, a lot of people watch us on their lunch hour at work. That's what Laura's doing.
That's okay. That's fine too. But then, I'm just looking at something for other people that don't watch because they're driving, like this guy's driving.
Right.
And maybe he would be more interested in listening. What do they call that when you just do a audio thing? What is it called? It's called something when you just do an audio talk thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it's called. I forget.
Anyhow.
Jerry will tell me.
Yeah.
Kathy B in the 603.
And KM. KM, I got to ask you, do you have one of those jobs where you travel all over the country? Because every time we talk to you, you're somewhere else.
Podcast. Joy said it's podcast.
And that's only
That's just
verbal?
Yeah. They got actually. You can go to one of those music channels, and I thought about doing it. Which one do you go to listen to music? You got to pay a monthly fee.
I listen to Pandora, and it don't cost me anything.
Now there's a streaming music channel, and you have to pay a fee. Anyway,
Spotify?
Maybe it is Spotify. Anyway, they have a section on there of nothing but podcasts. I mean, thousands and thousands of them. The guy that called me on this podcast show a couple of years ago, remember that guy?
Yeah.
He's on there. My thing's on. You'll never find it, but it's on there. There's thousands of them.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Ronnie, thanks for the $20, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I don't know what the difference would be between seeing you and hearing you. I mean,
Well, because like a trucker, I told you.
But I mean, they can sit it down somewhere. They don't have to be looking at it.
But battery goes dead. I'm telling you what truckers do. They got Velcro on the back of their phone. They stick it to the dash, and they go down the road, and they may listen, but you could do that. There's nothing that says you can't do that. But I can tell you, when I had the XM radio in my truck, I listened to radio all the time. Old time radio.
Yes, yeah, radio.
And then I listened to Bruce Williams. He's like a financial guy thing, but I like to listen to him, and that's what I did. I listened to stuff going down the road all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Ronnie D, 1999.
Yeah,
well,
appreciate it, Ronnie. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Oh.
And if you'd like to support the channel, become a Patreon member or a YouTube member. That's the best and easiest way to sponsor this whole thing.
Yeah. And y'all hit the like button. Let us know that you're there. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed.
Joy, did you notice your name's in blue now and you have that little wrench next to your name?
Oh, my. And Kathy B said, I would never drive my cart down the sidewalk, Skip. We know what that's about.
Yeah, I know what that's about. No.
Yeah.
I've said it like 3 or 4 times, so I'm not harping on it. I don't want to be responsible for somebody saying, well, he told me to. No, I did not tell you to.
Yeah. Okay. KM says that she's retired. And my daughter lives in Iowa, mother in Minnesota, another daughter and son in Pittsburgh. And I'll be back in Port St. Lucie soon in my pool. If I come through the villages, I'll give you a heads up. That's great. I just, every time we talk to you, you're in a different place. You're a busy gal.
Nancy Gonzalez says hello from Smoky, New Jersey. You just think about this circle up here of smoke from New York, Pennsylvania, and up to New Jersey. That means New York City and all that area up through there. I bet Maine, Rhode Island, I bet all that stuff up there is covered in smoke. Who's that?
It's the People's Renting.
I thought they weren't coming to the winter time.
No, they're coming through the summer because they'll be back in the winter.
Where'd they get the golf cart?
I don't know. Maybe it's theirs. I don't know.
He has a golf cart. They could just use that one. Or maybe he said no.
I don't know. They're looking to build a new house or buy a new house or something. That's what they rented down here for. Well, I haven't met them yet.
That's what everybody comes here for, to buy a house.
Like I haven't met them yet. Okay.
And then they go around and the guy goes, boy, they sure do have a lot of bars around here, don't they? Yes, they do.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness, I'm lost here.
You're always lost.
Oh, stop that. Ronnie Delaplane, watching you on the porch. Great job.
Yeah, watching me on your porch while we're sitting here on our porch.
Yeah, that's
our
cool.
Homemade porch.
Yeah. Let's see. Susan Ranks, she streams on Apple Podcasts while traveling. Prefer without video. Well, I guess some people do.
I did a lot of that too, so that's what I was saying. But I don't want to do it if only 3 people's gonna. That's a lot of work for only 3 people. That's what I'm getting at.
But and Laura Lampy says, Brenda, enjoy your lifestyle visit. Well, Brenda, like I said, I must have missed your post here somewhere. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it down here.
Is she here now?
Well, I don't know. That's all I seen. I said, I don't know if I missed a post or. Yeah, there it is. Brenda Billingsley. Finally got to be here live. We are coming for a lifestyle visit in July.
Oh.
I'm so excited. Happy not so much. We'll make him a believer. You know, bring him down here. Nice. And I think after he's here for a while, he'll change his mind.
Where are they coming from?
She didn't say.
Huh?
Didn't say.
You know, July couldn't be a more comfortable weather-like month.
Well, yeah, he might not like it in July, but you know, it's timing. Everything's timing. And I said,
Go
July
outside
is hot.
at 4 o'clock in the morning and be back inside by 8.
Yeah, but you want to do your, you know, the biggest share of your running, you want to do it in the morning or in the evening, not in the middle of the day. And I said, Skip doesn't get up early. And so I was trying to, I was talking to Kevin. And I said, when we got over there yesterday, there he was outside of working. And it's hot, hot, hot. And I told him, Skip's the same way, you know. You do it in the morning before it gets too hot, or do it in the evening when it starts cooling down.
He's kind of stuck because they're leaving to go back up north.
Yeah, he has
so he had some things around the house they just bought. By the way, I did a video of it. Actually, I let him go around and talk about the house, and I followed him around. I thought that'd be a different way of doing a home tour, because he's going to rent this house out this winter, one winter only, and then that's it. He's coming down full time.
Yeah.
And anyway, he got a lot to get done. They got a lot done. So he's going to be leaving to head back up north. So he has to get it while the getting's good.
Yeah. Oh, and Kathy B, let me tell you, Sunny Plank is close to Brownwood. It's in that Freedom Point Shopping Center right next to the Brownwood Health Center, but it's not golf cart accessible. And like I said, Linda said that, but it's not legal. I mean, you can get there by golf cart, but it's not legal. But it is right there at the end of the parking lot where the healthcare center is.
How far does this smoke go? Tom Timer says poor air quality here in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Well, I don't know.
Jim K, which I think he's new. Boy, he's a member, though. I don't know if he's been here or not, but he is a member. Thanks, Jim, for joining. Anyway,
yeah.
Says 72 and hazy in Indianapolis. That's half the United States.
Yeah. Well, Seafox says there's no smoke in southern coast of Maine. So.
Amy says we have a code red air quality warning here in North Carolina from the Canadian fires.
Huh.
I had no idea that smoke was going that far, but I do know it's a terrible fire. New York City's getting it, and Long Island as well.
Well, and then New Jersey's got some wildfires going on too, I guess.
Wow.
That's what Ray said. We have forest fires in South New Jersey. And there was a fire in Jackson, South New Jersey. So they're getting some of the smoke from that.
Oh, KM's bringing up a good point. When is it? Till June the 9th. Get all your hurricane supplies tax-free.
That's right. And then it'll go all the way until, I think, August. And then it's school closing things in August.
Don't buy a generator for your house. Wait till the garage sales this summer. There'll be a ton of them in there for sale at half the price.
Yeah, Lauren, that's a way to do it. If you're wanting to come down here and buy a house, the best time to come is in July, because you can see if you can stand the heat, because it does get hot. But like it's all a matter of timing. You know, you get out and you play golf first thing in the morning, or you walk first thing in the morning, play pickleball first thing in the morning if you can, that kind of thing. And then by noon you duck in the country clubs and have a burger and a beer, and then you go home and take a nap, and then come back out in the late afternoon. You know, after it cools down a little bit, or evening when it cools down, go down to the square and listen to the music. So it's all about timing.
Hey, Mr. P, I see you on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that name. He used to come to a lot of our other lives. He hasn't been around, I don't think, for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But anyway, I remember the name.
Kathy D, hey. And Brenda Billingsley said they're coming from St. Pete. They're coming up here to do the lifestyle visit. She said she was coming in July. Brenda Billingsley.
Does she know Rizzo? Because that's where he come from.
St. Pete.
Oh, I thought you said Saint. You said
I said
Key
St.
West.
No, St.
Oh,
Pete.
never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Kathy D says today they're getting the house ready to sell so they can finally move to the villages. Well, that's part of the job. Like I
Part of
said,
the job.
you'll be so glad when you get here and you can. Of course, when you get here and you have a new house, you got a lot of work to do too.
Yeah, I
But
remember all that. Deciding to sell, deciding to do, and then after you get the house sold, probably quicker than what you think you're going to sell. That's what happened to us. Then you have to go to the house and decide, what do we keep, what do we take, what do we give away, the kids, you know.
wow,
And then your husband, if he's got a lot of stuff in the garage, like machinery and tools and
crap.
motorcycles and Corvettes and whatever, he's got to decide, what can I take, what can I
Yeah.
keep, what am I going to get rid of. I mean, it's a trial to figure all that stuff out. And if you decide to keep the Corvette and keep the motorcycle and keep all that stuff, where are you going to put it? I mean, have an answer to these questions before you get here. It'll make it easier, because I'm here
Yeah.
to tell you, with a 2-car garage, you're not getting all your toys in there. It just ain't happening.
Yeah.
So
Storage is a
storage units
issue.
is an option.
Yeah.
If you feel good about it, most people I know that's got Corvettes, they're not going to store them in a storage unit, not unless it's an indoor storage unit that they can lock up, and there ain't that many of those available around here.
Yeah.
It's just something you have to think about.
Right. Well, Indiana's getting some of the smoke, I guess. Kevin K says hazy in 71. And A&O says smoke in Richmond, unhealthy air quality.
Richmond where?
Indiana. So for a couple of days now, it's been unhealthy air quality. And C Fox says Boston has it.
Man, I just can't believe that smoke went down that far.
Yeah.
That's like a volcano erupting.
Well, now Joan Clagg says there's a no burn order in Ohio. Yeah, because like I said, there's so much of a drought this year. It really has affected a lot more people than what it usually does. I mean, we always know that somewhere along the line, California is going to be in a drought. But like I said, we've had it here in Florida for a while now, certain areas of Florida, and we were in a drought for a good while. I think they've dropped it now because we have had some serious rain. It's still pretty dry. But like I said, I don't farm anymore, so I don't pay attention to it. William says we have smoke here in Fruitland Park. I hope the police don't stop by.
Seafox says there's no smoke in the southern coast of Maine.
Yes.
I said Maine a while ago because it's real close to Brunswick.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
Okay, let's see.
I ever tell you the first time I took a semi-truck and went to Maine, had no idea what I was doing, where I was going, didn't know anything about Maine. I was taking belts, a load of belts to go to, I want to say, a mining camp somewhere. And anyway, it was on this 2-lane road. I was a little bit nervous because it was just didn't look like a place for semi-trucks to be. And I was talking to a guy when I got to where I was going, and I told him that I'd never been there before, and the odds are I was never coming back because it was just too nerve-wracking for me. And he said, well, the only thing you got to remember around here, and he had an accent. That's all I can tell you. I couldn't imitate it. He said, if you ever see any moose on the highway, he says, never blow your air horn. I said, why's that? He said, because they take it as a threat and they'll attack your truck. Who knew?
Yeah. Well, and I had our son moved to Alaska from North Dakota, and they were going down the Alcan. And I said, and the first encounter they had with the big animals up there, and I said, he was videoing the whole thing. And they were in their truck, and just all the way across the highway was a herd. And I said they had never encountered that before, so they just kind of sit there and waited for them to get around them. And I said, probably a good thing, because I didn't know if you blew your horn that they'd attack you, but he was scared they were going to attack him anyhow.
Well, he might have been joshing with me, but I didn't blow horn at any of them.
Well,
I just wouldn't do it.
What makes sense? The cranes are that way.
these cranes are this side of stupid. They know that you're not going to do anything,
Yeah.
and they will stand in the middle of the road. And the more you blow your horn, the more they'll stand there and just look at you.
Yeah.
They won't move.
Well, I was walking once and I got too close to one, and it jumped up and down and made such a noise. I mean, they're loud. I mean, I love them. You know, it's great to see the wildlife.
Usually they do that to protect a chick.
Well, yeah, and I know there was one around that, like I said, I didn't think I got that close, but they only let you get so close, and then they go nuts. You know.
Thanks, Ronnie. Ronnie Delaplane.
Mm-hmm.
I probably pronounced that wrong. I am so bad at pronouncing names. Just like what's that one restaurant that Linda said that somebody liked, and it was Jose liked, and he asked her. He said, "Did I pronounce that correctly?"
Oh, that was Kayami. Yeah.
No, that was me. That was not him.
Sakura.
Yeah, Sakura.
Yeah, because it's Sakura. We call it Sakura,
and because she's
Sakura.
part Japanese, she says, "No, that's not correct. I've called it Sakura forever."
I know.
Now she says it's Sakura.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll never remember that.
Sakura.
Huh?
Sakura.
Whatever it is.
And then, you know, we've said Koyami for a long time, and that's a little bit different too.
This Kayami.
It's a little
But
bit.
I found out, let me say, when you see the top 10 restaurants that we do like or do love or whatever, that's the last one that was up. I think it came up Monday. I said Kayami was one of my favorite Asian restaurants to go to, and it was. I found out yesterday, some people sent me emails saying, you did know that the owners of Kayami sold that to somebody else. And they're all telling me that the places kind of went downhill. But the original owner of Kayami opened up a new restaurant called the Chef or the Chief or something like that over at Southern Trace Shopping Plaza, which I've never been to, and I'm going to have to check it out now.
Yeah. Let's see. Joe R. wants to know, can you tell us why generators will be on sale in July? Says,
because everybody buys them. In the last hurricane we had through here, I stayed here if you saw that video. The hurricane was a direct hit. Hurricane Irma, and it came right here in the village as a direct hit. And I stayed here at the house, and we never lost electricity. So everybody that bought all them generators, that's the first thing they buy. They go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, they'll be out of generators, I guarantee you.
Yeah, and with hurricane season already in play here, if you do live here, the one thing you want to have is a full tank of gas. Because the people that evacuated during the hurricane, that's what they found out. They only got a tank away, and everybody else was going that direction, and there was no gas. And we ran out of gas here because everybody coming from the south was filling up. And so that's something, you know, that you don't think about necessarily is have a little cash because your ATM machines might not work, and have gas.
Do what I do. Shut all your garage doors, shut the front door, and stay home. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
Because here's my theory. And because we've been coming, me and Sue ran out of Florida, I want to say twice, maybe 3 times by hurricanes.
Yeah.
Twice?
At least
twice. So I know what it looks like in the middle of the state. If you're on the coast, it's totally different. But by the time it gets here, half of the strength is gone. Yeah. It dies. As soon as it hits land, it starts to die real quick. So by the time it gets here, I figured, we might get a little damage here and there, but I didn't see any life-threatening anything.
Yeah.
So I just stayed here. Well, everybody that bought these generators because they thought the electricity was going to go out and all this and that, which actually I expected that to happen.
I did, yeah.
Never happened. We didn't lose extra electricity or anything. I had portable lights. The lights that I used, I went around. We got these solar lights that you put in your flower beds around the house. I picked them all up after they charged, shut them off, took them in the house, and put them in the sink. I figured if I needed any special lighting in an emergency situation, I was going to use those lights for it.
Yeah. I thought that was ingenious. I'd never thought of that before, but I thought that was ingenious. You didn't have to worry about candles, you know.
And Donnie next door told us, he said, well, the one thing you want to do, because he survived Hurricane Katrina, so he knew a little bit about hurricane problems.
Yeah.
He said, fill your bathtub up with water. I said, what's that for? He said, if we lose power here, he said, at least you can flush your toilet. So we did all that. We got all this stuff all ready and brought everything in the garage, brought the outside furniture in the garage. We got everything. We're secure. We're ready to go, right? Nothing happened.
Well, it was a pretty good sized storm, but And I said, don't get lulled into thinking nothing will happen here. All storms are different, and just because that one didn't. But normally we're far enough inland that we're not going to see a lot of the stuff that but the hurricanes actually spawn tornadoes in this area. So like I said, you got to use your precaution, use common sense, and do what they tell you to. All the radio stations, the TV stations, they have your where's and why for us, what you do. Actually, they're somewhere here this week. They're having a drive-through to check on your insurance and see what you're covered with as far as hurricane coverage goes. And I didn't see where that was at, but it's put on by the Citizens Insurance. But you can actually go through the drive-through and find out, what all your insurance takes care of during a hurricane. If you're new, that might be something that will ease your mind.
Did you read this from KM? While she's traveling around?
Yes. Okay. Yes. And
I know how it goes, KM. You always have these plans that you're going to do this with the kids after you retire and do that with the grandkids after you retire. Then when retirement day comes, you realize your kids and grandkids live 2,000 miles away. Some live in other countries. and so your retirement idea, let me tell you what, my retirement here, the first 2 or 3 or 4 years we were here, was nothing what I had in my head. Because half the people I figured would come down in the winter and visit and stay for a while, our friends, they had all died. They weren't even around anymore. So my idea of retirement here for the first 5 years was totally out of sync.
Yeah. But if you're going to be anywhere, this is a place to be. And,
the place to be is where you are. That's the place to be.
Hey, Mimi. Miss Liz says unhealthy air quality in Richmond, Virginia, too. Wow.
Mimi Alf. Hey, Mimi. I'm seeing a lot of new names on here. I think we got a lot of new people.
I think so, too. Yeah.
That's good.
And it might be people that has watched us but not subscribed before.
Well, I do have, well, no, I don't.
Or maybe hadn't commented.
No, the last one I did, I said you had to be subscribed in order to make a comment. But because this one started really wonky, I didn't set it up that way.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm going to start doing that to all the Porch settings to where you have to be subscribed in order to make a comment.
And Skip Wilson says, I'm going to go out and wash the cars and listen. No big fires in Skip's favorite state of California, but very cloudy and cool today.
Is California a state now?
I thought it was a separate country.
It is. I thought it was a separate country.
Monica Dabney said they had a mean red squirrel shake his fist. So one of the ladies at the ladies' lunch the other day, she said that she had watched a bunch of squirrels, and they were running one at a time. They would just hightail it across her driveway, and then here'd come another one. And then here'd come another one. She said it was like 6 of them. She said why they all didn't come at one time. She said she didn't know, but she, very early in the morning, and she said she was wondering if she was awake.
The squirrels to be aware of down here on the golf course. That's where 99% of them are at, is in the golf course. We call them monkey squirrels. And everybody that's been here for a while knows what I'm talking about. They'll point them out for you. Because those monkey squirrels know that in your golf cart cup holders, you're keeping cookies and crackers in there, and they will literally come in your golf cart and run you out to get those cookies and crackers. And I'm not kidding at all. And
I said, when you first get down here, you think, oh, that's so cute. You're not used to a lot of the wildlife running around that much, and I said, coming that close to people. But here they do, because, like I said, they get free food out of it. But like I said, after a while, it gets annoying. At first, like I said, it's cool. And I said, oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? But like I said, it does get annoying after a while. You have to cover everything up.
Joe R says, can you tell us why generators will be on sale on July 1st?
I
didn't say they was going to be on sale. July 1st, all hurricane stuff.
You said estate sales and garage sales.
Huh?
You said go to estate sales and garage sales.
That ain't what he says. I didn't say, he says his exact word is Skip. Can you tell us why generators will be on sale in July? I didn't say it's going to be on sale. I'm just being correct with what I say. They'll be in the garage sales. You'll see a bunch of them in garage sales, because those are the ones they bought last time we had a hurricane. They never used them, and then they sell them. Now, we didn't have a hurricane here last year. right? That was 2 years ago.
There was several in Florida. It didn't affect us
Here,
that much.
the ones, but it has to affect us. So why would they buy a generator? So yeah, they may not be any here because usually if they have a hurricane in say this year, next summer is when all the generators will be for sale because they didn't use them. So I don't know where the hurricane, because we're getting so big now. This happens all the time. They may have rain in one part of the villages and absolutely no rain in another part of it. This happens all the time. We're getting rain like every evening. Kevin tells us for the area of villages he bought in, they're kind of in a drought up there, so they really need the water. And I did notice that our ponds down here are like extremely full. We went up there and I found one pond coming home after we visited them. I told Sue it was so low you couldn't even hardly see the water.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
Oh, and Fox says, said you must have delivered to a mill. He said that.
I probably did. I used to deliver them belts also to, I want to say West Virginia area, down in the coal mining areas.
Well, he said they have a highway now.
Well, this has been a day or two since I was up there. Yeah. I started driving a truck probably around 1982, 83, 4, somewhere in that area. I didn't keep track.
Yeah.
So that's how long it's been. And when I first got my truck, the whole idea of somebody saying, hey, we got a load that'll pay you so much money and you got to go to Maine. I go, okay. That's all I knew. Okay, I'm making this kind of money. Sure, I'll take it. I was ignorant about the whole thing. So I ended up going to a lot of places that I would never go back the second time. Maine was one of them. And it wasn't because of Maine. It was because of what we hauled to Maine. I didn't want to do that anymore. I took the belts to a coal mine in West Virginia and decided I'm never doing that again. Listen, when you got to have a bulldozer get behind your trailer and push you up the hill to get you out, I don't want to go back.
Yeah. Brenda Billings.
When I took the beer to Bronx, New York. Everybody says the Bronx, but I don't think it's the Bronx. I think it's just Bronx, New York. Remember I told you about the horse standing on the street, and the guy jumped on my truck, wiped the windshield off, and actually made it worse. There was another guy standing on the sidewalk with a bag of something, and I just thought, better give him a buck, because I don't know what's in that bag. And I said, I'm never going back to Bronx, New York ever again. And it cost me a little fortune to go across the bridge, and I want to say it was a GW bridge, but I won't swear to that. You paid to go. It was the top layer of the bridge went one way in. The bottom layer of the bridge was one way out. You paid up here to go in, and then you came out for free. But for a semi, and I'm going back in the 80s, up here was something like $75.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm paying $75 to deliver beer to these people. Something wrong with that. So I said, I'm never going back. Oh, the other one was Hunt's Point. The food place I told you I went to, and the guard maybe give me $25 to let me deliver something that they ordered. I argued with him forever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Chicago was like that for a long time. I think it was
Hunt's Point, and I said, I'm never going back to Hunt's Point again.
Yeah. Brenda Billingsley says, we just got portable solar. It's cheaper and no poisoning fumes. Haven't used it yet. Never lost power. Yeah, that's so sad. You know, we've been here 9 years, and never have we lost power because of a storm. We didn't lose TV. You know, we didn't lose our cable or anything. And during the worst storm here, and
never had any water problem either.
Yeah, just really, we lost a couple shingles.
Yeah, I did.
And but like I said, just surprised us so much because we were expecting the worst. And I said, don't get lulled into a sense of security because it may happen.
Monica says, oh, Lord, Frank has a ton of tools.
Yeah.
Well, Frank's going to have to go through them tools and decide on what he wants, what he don't want. And if he decides he wants to keep them all, and I don't know how many tools Frank has, I'd like to keep all mine too. I would need it at that time. I would need it probably a minimum of a 4-car garage on a house. You don't buy them houses for $400,000 with a 4-car garage. Those come on $1 million homes, which I can't afford.
Yeah.
So he'll have to decide what he wants to keep.
Yeah. And at one time we had a big farmhouse, you know, and we had the barns and the milk house, and we had a full-size basement. You know, so I said, you just don't have the storage down here. So pare down as much as you can, because really, you know, if you're talking furniture and stuff like that, ask Kevin. It's easy to find around here. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Find stuff, and I'll bet you, and I don't know this for facts, The village has been here long enough now that, we found Jeremy, which is a custom closet specialist, but he also does a lot of other stuff. But I just want to say that. And so I'm wondering if there isn't somebody here that specializes in designing garages for a
There
guy
is.
like your husband, where they'll come in and say, we can do this and put so many tools there, we can do this over here, and still have room for 2 cars. I mean, there probably is, and I don't know what that would cost, but it might be worth looking
Yeah,
into.
but there is a point to where somewhere along the line you got to get rid of something. They can rearrange, like my closets. You
Yeah,
can rearrange it, but
yeah.
somewhere along the
If you're
line,
talking table saws and jigsaws and chop saws and all that,
yeah,
welders and all
yeah.
that, forget it. You're not going to
Unless
have
he's
it.
going to work with it down here. If he's going to get a part-time job or whatever, open up a business or something and needs that stuff,
Well,
that's
yeah,
one
you can
thing.
do that,
But
sure.
that's not retirement.
No, I'm going to say I don't think about that because this is a retirement community. So
Yeah,
I don't think about somebody coming into retirement community to start a welding shop.
yeah. Hey, Chief, how are you? It's a beautiful day out today.
Where's Indiana? Memphis. Memphis, Indiana. Oh, I know where it is. Mile marker 16 off of
I was
I-65,
say, you used
Memphis,
to go to
Indiana.
Memphis,
I used to
yeah.
stop there all the time.
Didn't you do the turnaround? You left a trailer and brought a trailer back from there?
No, I used to stop there because I used to illegally, back in the days where I used to wildcat, I come across Kentucky late at night because I didn't have any permits or license plates or anything to go through Kentucky, and I was always nervous wreck. And I used to stop at Memphis, Indiana, at 16-mile marker because at that point that was one of the better truck stops. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it is now, but back then it was one of the better truck stops. And I'd go in there and get a bite to eat and relax a little bit before I made my trek back to Indianapolis because it was just nerve wracking. And the only reason why I did it when I was younger is because when you're younger, you need money all the time. And doing what I did paid me 3 to 4 times more than what would you say, the legal load. And that's why we wildcatted.
Oh, well. Bruce Rudolph. Well, hi, Bruce. And he said he finally caught a porch sitting. And said, we've been busy here in the villages. We watched a lot of your videos before moving here. And said, thank you. Well, you're very welcome. And I said, don't quit watching us just because you're moved here. I know there's a lot of stuff to do. But, we are recorded. I said, when you don't catch the live, we are recorded, and you could always watch us later, because we have an infinite amount of wisdom to share with you.
I have no wisdom to share whatsoever.
And then, if anything, you can watch Skip throw a hissy fit.
That has been known to happen.
But I said, glad you're here.
He says I pronounced his name perfectly,
Yeah,
as I always do.
yeah.
You watch my news, and I've always said it. I'm not the best reader in the world. So I do the news the best I can. I edit the hell out of it because sometimes I'll say something name and then my mind goes, did I say that right? And I'll look and I'll say the name 5, 6, 7 times. Well, when I'm doing that, I'm also recording. So when I go to edit, I got to find out where did I say it correctly, or I think it's correct. Cut that out, move it all the way back here.
Yeah.
So I'm almost getting to the point to when they pull over an illegal and his name's on there, I'm just going to read the report and go, and the name will be on the video, and just go on and put the name on the front of the picture. It's easier.
Yeah. Laura, she said her dad raised on a farm during the Depression, used to hunt for squirrel. We know my stepdad, his favorite meal, and he did it for every holiday, just like we would do chicken and dumplings. He made squirrel gravy, and never tried it. Never had the inkling to try it, but
Loved it.
He just thought his squirrel gravy was the best. So
Grandma Simmons, when I was a kid down in Nicetown, and I used to go down there because he had a pony. I used to go down there so I could pet this pony. I didn't have a pony, and Grandpa tried to give it to us, but Dad said no. So anyway, he came out there one day and he asked me if I'd ever done any squirrel hunting. I said, yeah, I got the squirrel. He said, you ever eat any? I said, Dad eats them. I said, I don't. There's just something about it, man. It looks like a furry rat. I didn't want to eat it. So
that's what I said. I never tried it.
He says, Grandma makes a squirrel gravy. And Dad fried his in a skillet. And I think that was the difference. So he said, "Would you like to have some homemade biscuits and some squirrel gravy some morning with me for breakfast?" Now, Grandpa at that time was probably, I called him Grandpa. He wasn't my grandpa, but everybody called him that. He's probably 80 some years old. Shit, I'm getting that age too.
You just
Yeah.
not realize that.
So anyway, I went down there one day and she had homemade biscuits she had made, and she had this homemade gravy, and she poured it on the biscuit. Yeah, I waved at you. So anyway, I ate that, and from what I can remember, there's something about squirrel meat and making it was a white gravy, kind of like a white gravy. It was really good. Of course, Mom didn't know how to make it, and Grandma, of course, you know how them old people are. They don't want to tell you their secret recipes,
Well,
which I think is a mistake, by the way. They should write this stuff down, because the days of women really wanting to cook is almost gone. They feel like they have to cook, but they don't want to cook. And when you don't want to cook, you really don't pay attention to the recipe anymore. I just know I got to put a little salt in there. There's some. They don't want to do it.
that's me. And that's part, to me, that's part of retiring. I mean, I still have to do the laundry and the groceries and the ironing and, and cooking and dishes. And, that to me is not retirement. Guys can sit and watch TV all day. I can't do that. Oh, but
Ray says, "Nice talking to you on the phone Saturday." Hey, Ray, I have fun doing that live show once in a while.
yeah,
Where you can call in live and talk. But I always say that's the one show that scares me to death, and then because I can't regulate the phone calls, I don't know who's calling in. I don't know the number. I don't know who it is.
can't you just hang up?
But after they say what they say and you hang up, it's already too late because it's live. There it is. It's on there.
Well, there's a little bit of a delay, but
There's a little bit of delay, yeah. But I know that when that drunk guy got on there, because I'm up here, I'm listening, but I'm not paying attention. I'm down here writing stuff down, and I'm doing stuff over here that you guys don't see.
Now all you guys caught it.
Yeah, you guys did. And I went back and I read the comments later. I always do that. And I seen where Jerry was telling Wrestler, "Hey, take care of this, Wrestler." And Wrestler says, "I can't. He's the only one in control of phone calls," and that's true. There's nothing they could do.
Yeah.
And by the time I kind of was getting the idea, this guy's starting to get a little insulty here. I mean, think about it. This guy was bad mouthing all the old retired people in the villages, but earlier in that conversation, he said he painted houses here for a living. So he's making a living here off the same people that he's bad mouthing. When I realized that, I thought, that's it. This conversation is done. Now, here's the thing. If I do the live show again, will that guy call back? Because if he does, I'm going to catch him real early this time. In case you're watching, I'm warning you. If he calls back again and he starts anywhere close to that, he's done. I'm going to tell you, you're out of here. He's out of here. I'm going to write that phone number down so I can go back in my phone, and I'm going to block him so he can't call no more. Or at least on that phone, he can't call in.
Yeah.
What I really need is a phone screener.
Kill button.
But I don't know what all I need to do that. Not a kill. I need a phone screener, like somebody to talk to you first. You talk to them and say, "Hey, what are you going to talk about? Blah, blah, blah." Make sure you don't, say anything about politics. We don't talk politics whatsoever. By the way, let me just say to a lot of people out there that have been making comments on a couple of my videos, I don't know why all this even started because they didn't come from me. If you make any kind of accusation politically, because I know some people, everything wrong in this world, somewhere is politics' fault. If you make any political accusation that's going to start an argument, I'm not going to ban you, but what I am going to do is I delete that comment. It's gone. So if you made some, go back and check. If it's gone, you're the one. And so I'm just not going to allow that anymore because there's just no sense in it.
Yeah. Ronnie Delaplane says he was raised in California for 46 years, moved out in 93.
He got out before everybody else moved in?
As a kind, I love the state, but I agree with you. It's no longer a state to him.
It's not.
Yeah.
And I've told Sue 100 times, and I'm dead serious about this. I said it's a shame that California has turned into what it is because that state has so much going for it. It's a beautiful state from the south to the north, and everything changes in between. And where else can you live where you can go snow skiing in the mountains this morning and then have lunch on the beach this afternoon? Nowhere. I mean, it's a shame. That's all I got to say. It's just a shame.
Kathy B in a 603. When I was renting in November, Hurricane Nicole came through, but when it got to the villages, it was a tropical storm. Yeah, and that's usually what happens by the time it gets to us. Now, it depends on which direction it's coming in from. But like I said, we're far enough. We're kind of almost in the middle. So by the time it gets to us, it's petered out a little bit. But like I said, the hurricanes also spawn tornadoes. That's what you really got to be aware of because we come from tornado country. And they, hurricanes, you get a lot of notice ahead of time that they're coming. With a tornado, it's kind of instantaneous.
You're sitting there watching TV going, you hear something?
Yeah.
And
Sound like
it's
a freight
tornado
train.
sirens going off in town,
Yeah. And like I said, so that's where the worry comes in. So don't let your guard down when they say to prepare for that kind of stuff. Like I said, from June to November, prepare for it. Don't get crazy, but prepare for it.
Phone call. I'm on the road. I'm running all 48 states, so I'm gone sometimes a week or two at a time. Never get home. And I call home just to check and see what's going on. Sue's answering the phone. Hello? What are you doing?
I don't know why I was whispering.
What are you doing? Sitting in the closet with Maggie. What are you sitting in the closet for? Well, the tornado sirens went off, so I'm sitting in the closet.
And we had a closet the size of my living room.
Maggie was our dog.
Yeah, Maggie was the dog, and me and her, we'd take our pillows and go in the closet and just sit in the closet until the storm was over. I felt more comfortable that way.
That closet's a lifesaver, ain't
it? Yeah.
What's the other one they tell you up there? Get in the bathtub.
Get in the bathtub.
Yeah, that's going to save you. Get in the bathtub. Like when the atomic bomb hits, when you see a flash of light, get under that wooden desk.
I remember that actually. Oh, Cheryl, you just got home from work. Well, it's still a beautiful day. You got plenty of time to do stuff.
Jerry Bell says Roberto's wasn't on her top 10 list. I don't think it was either. I didn't say
it wasn't. It was because, like I said, I was going to say, and Jose and I had the same thing, so he changed his. But I was going to say Roberto's, but like I say, I went to Coastal Del Mar.
You look at all the restaurants around here. It's not that we're bad mouthing any of them. All of us had to pick at least two.
Yeah.
That we really, really liked. We'd like to go back over and over again. And it had nothing to do with the villages, really. It just said that the first ones had to be golf cart accessible. Right. One of my way I look at favorite is, which restaurant do I go to more than any of them? I go to Olive Garden a lot. I was there last night.
Yeah, you go to Olive Garden a lot.
Now if you was to ask me, where's the best place to get ribs? See, that's not a top 10 thing. That's a specific question.
Right.
I have my place I like ribs. And I really don't like recommending restaurants, and I'll tell you why. No matter what you recommend, no matter what you like, somebody else is going to have a different taste. What they call that? It's subjective. Mm-hmm. And they may not like it. I used to really enjoy strawberry pie that Bob Evans had.
They still have. They just got it started.
But a lot of people tell me that Bob Evans' strawberry pie really isn't strawberry pie because it don't do this, it don't do that. I don't know. All I know is I liked it.
Well, that's the main thing. But yeah, there's a lot of places. I give to. And like that Coastal Del Mar, like I said, it was kind of a last-minute substitution. And I was going to say Roberto's, but I said Coastal Del Mar because I was there with the ladies' lunch, and I said there was 15 of us, and I'd not been there before. I usually check these out before I have the whole neighborhood go, but I hadn't been there before, and I'd wanted to go, and so I thought, well, this is a good time. And like I said, there was 16 of us, and it didn't bat an eye. I mean, they served everything without anything going on, no problem. Everybody got waited on timely, and it would just come off without a hitch. And the food was delicious. Now, I know that 9 times out of 10, I'd take Skip there. There's something he won't like. But that's just how I've been to so many of the restaurants, and there's certain things that I like, and I don't eat red meat. So that poses a problem.
Would you eat black meat?
And what's black meat?
Burnt.
Oh, no, I don't like it that way either. But I mean,
would you eat white meat?
The other white meat?
Yeah. You guys probably don't know. That's a farmer thing, inside thing. The other white meat.
Yeah, it's pork. But anyhow, yeah, I have a lot of them that I like, and I said we just had to have 2. So, but like I said, I like that one, and Jose and I both love Naldo's or Tequila Cantina.
See, and you always tell me I can't do this kind of stuff. And Brenda Billingsley, sister of Barbara Billingsley, says she loves my rants.
Oh,
But the problem with my rants are, it isn't that I don't mind ranting about something that bothers me. Some people relate to it, some people won't. But as a trucker, I have a trucker mouth. And when I start ranting, words start flying. And I don't even realize they're flying until she goes, or
yeah, I got to crank it back sometimes because you do get carried away. You forget you're actually live. And
well, that's why I said when you said that I already did it. And I said, oh my God, did I? We did
yeah,
started this 3 times.
yeah.
I wonder if they heard me. I think I've done that once in the studio right before WNL. I didn't have my microphone shut off, and I was talking something. I forget what. Or no, I was trying to get something ready, and I dropped it. And I said, "Oh," and I don't know if anybody heard me or not.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, you could do that on YouTube. It's not like TV where they stop you, but it's not very nice.
Monica says it's a Love truck stop now there at mile marker 16.
Oh, yeah?
It wasn't back then. Back then, I think it was a Union 76. Which at one point 76 was a pretty good truck stop, and then they sold out to somebody. I don't know who they sold out to, and it all went to hell in a handbasket. Just like Truck Stops of America, when Jerry Reed and a couple other guys they started Truck Stops of America. They were great. They were just really what we were looking for.
Yeah.
And you couldn't hardly find a parking spot back in them days. The food was good, everything was good, and then they sold it off. And then look at it today.
Mm-hmm.
They're dirty. They're nasty. The concrete's all cracked and broken. And
they've got some years on them. Yeah,
got years on?
I said they've got some years on them.
Oh, I thought you were talking trucks or CB.
No, I don't talk trucker. And Tom Turner says, Skip, I worked at a coal mine in West Virginia, and we received several truckloads of belting.
Yeah, belt.
No bulldozer required.
Oh, the one I went to one time. They had this load. Maybe it was a load that everybody refused because they knew better. I didn't know better. And I took it because it paid good.
Yeah.
And when I got there, we didn't have GPS back then. You all remember this. I'm calling up and I'm getting directions and I'm writing it down.
And you're the worst with directions.
No, back then I wasn't. And they would say, literally the guy would say, well, now when you get down this road about a quarter mile, you'll see a big red barn on the right. And that's how the directions went. And so you're going, and the next thing you know, you're going down dirt roads that weren't really that smooth, and your trailer's wobbling back and forth. It's like, oh my God. And then you get to this hill that's going like down like this. You can see all the work down there, though. You can see the mines and all the stuff. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go down there, but I'm not walking all the way down there. So pretty soon they say, hey, this is where you go. Then so as we're unloaded, I said, how am I going to get out of here? And the guy said, the bulldozer, he called it a pushmobile or something like that. It was an old bulldozer with a bunch of tires on the front of it. And he said, he'll help you up that hill. I said, and the guy came out there and he says, just put it in low gear and grandmaul it up the hill. I said, okay. I had no idea, but that's what they done. And when I left, I called dispatch, because you got to call dispatch and let them know you're empty so they can tell you where to go for your next load. And as I get on there, Wilma was my dispatcher, and I called to talk to her where I was at and everything. She said, how'd it go? I said, well, it went okay. I said, but don't ever ask me to come here again. I'm never coming back here again, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. Jerry Bell says, Skip, we gave Ira a hard time Monday because he hasn't been on Porch Settin. Yeah, and I said, I know Kevin and Karen did too. And I said, he will. He's been a busy boy. I didn't know that the office actually had moved until I watched the show on Monday. And like I said, Kevin mentioned something about it, but I didn't know that he'd actually moved into a new building. And that's kind of cool. Is he doing his own real estate now? Or is he still with Realty Executives? I'm kind of behind on that kind of thing. I haven't watched it for a while. No.
Tom says he worked at a coal mine. Is that what you just read?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, those guys got a tough job. Just from what I can remember. Them coal mines probably ain't even open today with all the stuff.
Well, he said he retired in 2015, so.
But I don't know if he went in the mine. A lot of coal miners do not go in the mine.
Yeah.
They do other stuff
that
I saw.
The first time I'd seen anything like that, we were, I don't know, somewhere out west, and we went into a copper mine. Wasn't it a copper mine? And you got
A
to,
real working copper mine,
yeah,
but certain days of the week between certain hours, you could take a tour through there.
yeah,
And you actually got on this little like
little train.
train car thing. And you got, I mean, you had to see this. You had to go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was just,
You had to have all the safety gear on and everything, and
you
then
had to go to class.
the trade car would take you down into the mine, and they would explain things to you, and it was so cool. I'm kind of claustrophobic, so being underground wasn't great, but it was very, very interesting. And like I said, I'd never seen anything like that before, and I had never been really around a regular coal mine or anything. So,
Done
but
it once, never do it again.
yeah, yeah. I'm
What
trying
do they
to
call
think
that? One and done.
trying to think of where that place was.
Uh,
And the whole town was an old town.
it's a famous touristy area.
And your
It's
cousin
in
told us about it.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Bixley, Biz, Big Bisley.
Yeah.
It's next to Tucson, not too far from Tucson. Bisbee,
Bisbee.
Arizona. That's where it is. It's a touristy trap, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah. And the old buildings is all, they've turned into the artsy type, and they had a bar there that was, I don't know, built back so many years ago.
Monica says, "Yeah, buddy." That's CB talk.
I know. It's kind of like a whole different language.
It is a whole different language. The other day, I forget, Linda was here, I think. I think she was here. And she was saying, so whenever you drove a truck, did you have one of those CBs? I said, well, yeah, everybody had them back then. That's how we found out things. She said, so you guys have your own CB lingo? I said, yeah, pretty much. I said, you don't think about it when you're doing it because everybody does it. She said, talk to me in that CB lingo. So I give her a little bit of rambling going on. She said, I don't understand anything you just said. She said, that's so cool.
Yeah, she's been a sheltered life, so. Jerry says Roberto's wasn't on the top 10 list. And no, it wasn't, because I was going to say Roberto's, but then I went to Coastal Del Mar and I liked it so much that I just thought it trumped Roberto's at the time. And we started the Roberto's the other day, and they were closed for some reason.
I think it was a family illness.
Well, that could be, because family's family to them.
Well, you said they had a sign stuck on the door. Usually,
okay.
when they stick a sign on the door, there's something emergency that popped up, and so I'm not going to fault them for that. That's the way them Italians are. They got like 5 or 6 different restaurants around here, and let grandma be sick and go to the hospital. They'll close all 5 restaurants, and everybody will go to the hospital. I'm not faulting them for that at all, but I mean that's just how it works.
Yeah. Oh, David S. says, have you ever seen the Hoosiers gym in Knightstown? You lived in Knightstown for how long?
I went to school. My first school I went to in Knightstown was called Central. I think they had 4 grades in there: 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 6th, I think. And then on the 7th grade, we went to junior high over at the Knightstown High School, which I'm sure is long gone by now.
Well, I don't know which one they had that movie Hoosiers was made in.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But I know catty corner from the high school, to give you an idea what street I'm on, there was a funeral home there that I went to school with the boy of the father, and I think he's the director now. It's called, I want to say Frazee, something like that, funeral home. Downtown Nicetown, there was a diner down there, kind of straight across the street from the old one corner grocery store.
Yeah.
And that diner, from what I can remember as a kid, that was the best. And then, of course, we had the Nicetown Cell Barn. I lived in that cell barn. I loved that cell barn.
Yeah.
They had the best hamburgers in that cell barn. I swear to God, to this day, they had the best hamburgers in that cell barn. I ain't kidding you. Boy, they was good.
Back then, you eat a ton anyhow, so it didn't matter.
Back then you eat a ton. Your taste buds are better back then. As you get older, your taste buds kind of die out. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Nicetown. I liked Nicetown a lot. I really did. Our farm was in the middle of nowhere. But when I-70 went through, this is where I got kind of my disdain for a lot of politics laws, not politicians, politics laws. They write of eminent domain. They cut my dad's farm in half and refused to compensate him. The law said it didn't have to. And he lost half his farm. He owned the property. He just couldn't access it. They landlocked it. So he had to sell it to the guy behind him that land actually touched. And that guy kind of took advantage of it because he knew that dad couldn't sell it to nobody else. And, when I seen how that really devastated my dad, I've had it, and it happened to us once. Remember when they were wanting to run fiber optic cable from Anderson down to Pendleton, I think. And the guy came to my house. I lived along the way. And he knocked on our door, and he says he was with Bell Telephone, blah, blah, blah. And he's wanting to know how I felt about them running fiber optics cable through my front yard. And I said, I don't like it at all. I don't want you to run through my front yard. And he said right up front, he said, we'll just get the right of eminent domain and go through here anyway. And I said, well, try it. I come home from work like a week later. There's this bulldozer sitting in my driveway. I couldn't even get my own car in my own driveway because they done ripped up my front yard, and there was a paper, I think it was rubber band to the front of my mailbox, because back then, if you wasn't a mail person, it was against the law to put mail in a mailbox. So the sheriff's department rubber banded to the front door of the mailbox, and it said on there, it had a $25 check.
Yeah.
And it said on there that the right of eminent domain was ordered by the judge, whoever it was. And if I had any questions, call this number. But by then, there's already a hole in my front yard. So I'm calling them up, telling them they better move this bulldozer out of my driveway. You don't have permission to park in my driveway. I'm going to park it out in the middle of the street. I don't know if I really could have or not, but that's why I told him. And the guy came right out. I'll say that. He came right out and he moved the bulldozer. Yeah. And he looked at me and goes, where do you want to park it? I said, you don't want to know where I want to tell you where to park it, but get it out of here.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Yeah, so right of eminent domain has affected my family twice, so that's why I'm dead set against it. I don't like the idea of it.
Janice Keller says, hi, Skip and Sue. John and I are coming down for our last lifestyle visit week of September 17th.
That's a good month.
Yeah, September. And any chance there being Patreon lunch that week? Let me see.
Better talk to her June, because her and Linda.
Yeah, next one is this month, and then one after that will be in August. So we'll be skipping September.
I don't know. I don't get involved with that. Sue, Linda, and sometimes Bill B. Not Bill B.
Jose.
Phil B. Phil B. gets involved with that.
Oh, what are you pointing at?
Where's the mate?
To what? I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, I see it coming. She's lagging behind.
Oh, I see now. Yeah. The crane. Yeah.
Oh, there's a chick.
I just say they got a baby.
Yeah.
There's three of them.
Those chicks really grow fast.
They do.
They're half the size of the adults now.
Yeah.
Already. If they get over here close enough, I'll turn the camera around so you can see what we're looking at. Our neighborhood cranes.
Yeah.
I think they live here somewhere.
It's a crane family, and they wander around.
Yeah. Let me turn this around. That way you can see. Whoops. You can see our neighborhood pets. How do I turn this around? I know there's a button here somewhere. I just can't see it. There it is. Okay. I can't zoom in, but can you see them? I can't hardly see the screen on this thing. They're
right there in the corner.
Yeah, they're over here. The female and the baby's here, and the male is over here somewhere. Where's the male? Yeah, he's across. The baby's walking across the street now. Mm-hmm. But that baby hatched here somewhere in our neighborhood. I don't know where.
Yeah.
And this is what they do every day. They just kind of walk around. They're letting us know that they own everything here, and they'll eat anything they want to. And if you get in the way, we'll attack you. That's what they're letting you know. Now, I don't really know what they eat, but I do know that when they get in the yard, I watch in my front yard, they'll bury that beak in the ground, and sometimes they pull things out of the ground and they eat it. But that baby over there is probably about, I'll say a month old, or maybe 2 months old.
At least a month, I know, but probably 2.
Yeah. Let me turn this back around now. They got it all out of whack.
Oh, and Laura, have a taco for me. Sounds good. J.C. Comer says, when will 10 worst restaurants be on? His internet went down, so he's behind.
Who went down?
J.C. Comer.
Oh.
Said, when will the 10 worst restaurants be on? Because he's behind.
We already done that, right? Yeah, that was first. The 10 worst restaurants was first, and then the 10 restaurants we love is next.
I don't know.
There's a number.
I don't know how you put them on.
Top right-hand corner where it says the villages, you'll see a number in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 10 restaurants that we hate. No, wait a minute. I just done that, right? We done the love first.
Yeah.
Okay, the 10 worst will be this coming Monday.
Okay, that's what he's asking.
Yeah, they'll always be on Monday. Always.
Yeah.
That's the only day I do videos.
Okay.
And I just got that edited last night late.
Right.
I got that edited, and I don't know how it came out. I haven't watched it yet because I also drank 2 glasses of wine while I was doing it.
Yeah, it should be good.
It should be good.
Let's see. Monica Dabney says, I like and respect you both because you're truthful. Yeah, sometimes we ain't got sense enough to lie about things. But yeah, we give you the truth.
Sometimes I think I'm too truthful.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm being hateful, and I'm not.
Well, bye, Laura. Enjoy your lunch.
She's going to be moving down here sooner or later.
Yeah, soon. Yeah, another year or so, I think.
Oh, she got a little ways to go, yeah.
Martin Donlin says, Kathy and I like Cody's and the Finney Grill. Yeah, the Finney Grill is great. We were in there once, and the noise level was too much for us.
Drunk
but the grill
ladies.
itself, yeah, there was a bunch of drunk ladies in there, and they were celebrating. But other than that, the restaurant's great, and the food's pretty good. And like I said, I love sitting there in the screen room where you can watch the people getting in and out of the pool. They probably don't like it, but I think it's kind of cool.
I don't think they care.
Well, and then and in the evening, sometimes they have entertainment. So, and that's funny.
They have entertainment there.
Yes,
I
they do.
That.
I think it's only a couple times a week, but yeah.
Maybe something you just started doing because last few times I've been down there, I never saw no entertainment.
We don't go in the evening.
I used to go golfing down there a lot.
And you were not down there in the evening.
No.
Okay, that's when the entertainment is usually.
No.
Ford guy says Hunts Point Market.
Yeah, that's in New York. I'll never go there again.
Oh,
Let me tell you about Hunts Point. The guards want to rob you illegally. They can't stop you. It's full of prostitutes everywhere that will jump on your truck and everything else. And then 3, I don't know, to get there, it's just a nightmare, just even to get there. I don't recommend any truck driver to go there.
Okay.
Unless you live there.
And Ronnie Delaplane says he has trouble sometimes with his military mouth.
Hey, it happens.
It happens.
Around a guy like me, we're drinking a beer or whatever, I wouldn't think twice about it at all. I wouldn't even think about it. But there are so many people that are, let's just say that they're offended by it. And just the least little anything. I mean, a damn or a hell, and they give you this cross-eyed, and I'm thinking, those words are in the Bible. What's the matter with you? So, I don't know. But it ain't the damn and the hells that get me in trouble. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
It ain't the damn and the hells that get me in trouble. It's the S's, the B's, and the F's.
Well, Cliff Craven says best ribs are from the guys that set up shop on weekends on street corners.
Do what now?
So the best ribs are from the guys that set up shop on weekends on the street corners. Where's that at, Cliff?
Yeah, some of them are pretty good. I've seen them around, but that ain't my favorite place to go. I'm big on restaurant, sit-down table, and a waitress come over here and take my order.
And we haven't done the 10 best outside the villages yet.
Not yet. We're going to. We haven't done it yet.
We are going to do that, yeah.
My favorite by far, and you'll see it on there when you have the outside the villages, is going to be Oakwood Fire and Grill for ribs. I can't speak for barbecue sandwiches or barbecue chicken or anything else in there, but they got the best smoked ribs.
Right. And Jerry Bell said Ira started his own brokerage. He went out on his own. Well, that's what I thought when I seen the picture of the front window of his new place, and it said I&M Realty. And then so I thought, well, he must did his own thing. And that's good. I said he's doing well. No.
Martin says my toolbox is pretty small. You shouldn't have a problem moving it.
Yeah.
My toolbox has really gotten small moving here. I mean, there was at one point that I had 2 outside sheds in the back, 40 back there, and they were full of nothing but machinery and tools.
Yeah. And Monica, I don't quite understand, or Mandy says, is it better to get a golf as far away from TV as you can? And I'm thinking she means golf cart.
Get away from what now?
As far away from the villages as you can.
Get as far away from the villages?
To get a golf cart I think that's what she
Everybody
means.
does what they want to do. I bought mine at the golf cart store because, one, you get guarantees there you don't get anywhere else. One is if you ever have to take your golf cart down and get it serviced, they guarantee for the rest of your life that you own that golf cart, you'll never be without a golf cart.
Well, and then now they're getting so many of them now that are competing that they're offering stuff trying to get you there to buy theirs.
Yeah. And the
And
second thing is, if I need something done on my golf cart, I just start it up and take it down there. If I can't get it down there, I can call them up, and they'll generally send, what's that company called again? Cart Aid. They come out and pick it up. You get a golf cart outside the villages, and I'm not telling you not to. Get the best deal you can get.
yeah,
But if you get it outside the villages, the villages at one time, and I don't want to say they still do this, but if you had a Yamaha golf cart and you didn't buy it at the villages store, they wouldn't work on it. You might double check that. But if you have to send it back to the person you bought it from, they have to make arrangements to send a trailer out to your house, to load it up, take it down there, work on it. And all this time, you ain't going to have a golf cart probably. And then they have to bring it back. And, it's just whatever you're comfortable with.
yeah. Oh, and Monica said, is it Milan, Indiana, is the true town, the high school team in Hoosiers? Milan or Milan? I think it's Milan.
I have no idea.
I've heard them advertise it when they might advertise the movie. But
all I know is that movie had one of my favorite actors in it that you don't even hear about anymore. Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman,
I love Gene Hackman. He was such a good actor.
Well, she said that's Frank's favorite movie. But
Gene Hackman and Jack Nicholson. I know everybody thinks Jack Nicholson's a little, and maybe he is. I don't know, but as an actor, man, he is so
that's
good.
what made him a good actor, I think. Yeah, and William says that eminent domain happened to him in your homestead after Hurricane Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, how does that make you feel that you got something you don't want to sell, but they're looking at you telling you we don't care?
And you paid for it, and you paid taxes on it, and all this time, and they can still take it.
Yeah, and you've been maintaining it. You've improved the property. You've done all this stuff to it, and they just knock on your door and say, "Well, we know you don't want to, but we're going to take it anyway." And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Oh, and Martin, I do remember the neighborhood drugstores had the soda fountains every Saturday when I was little. I was the only girl in the family, and so on Saturdays, my mom would go shopping. My dad would take me, and we'd go to the soda fountain at SS Cresby's, and then get a foot-long hot dog and a cherry phosphate.
I had a cherry phosphate.
I know.
With California.
When we got up in the mountains in California, there was an old general store there, and we went in, and they actually had the cherry phosphate. And I've never heard, since I was a kid, I've never heard that name before. So they evidently quit making them or something. But yeah, I remember that was my favorite part of the week was going to town with Mom and Dad. They never took the boys; they always took me. But yeah. I said, those neighborhood drugstores, and I said, that one in Julian in California, it had all the memorabilia. They had the soda fountain and everything, and then they had some booths. But it was kind of a nice trip back.
Those of you guys that don't know, Laura Lamb, I'm probably way behind. She's getting ready she has to go back to work. We met her last week.
It's been a couple.
Couple weeks?
Yeah. But we had met her before.
We have?
Yes.
I did?
Yes.
I don't remember.
We was at the Mexican place uptown.
She must have been much younger.
It was last year or the year before. I don't think she was that much younger. But
I'll probably pay for that remark.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we met her a couple weeks ago. We had lunch with her over at a place that I hadn't been to in years. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was.
As we're going in, though, Sue goes, I think that's her, but I've never seen her without her glasses on. I said, well, say something to her. Well, I don't want to say anything if that's not her.
Well, and there was a bunch of ladies sitting at the table just as you go in the door, and then she walked past us and was talking to these ladies. And I thought, well, maybe that's not her. And so we went on back and got a booth, and then a little bit later, here she come. And then I said, well, I thought that was you, but I wasn't sure because I've never seen you without your glasses on. And she said, yeah, that table up there was the neighborhood she was renting in, and the ladies had invited her for the ladies' lunch, and that's what all the ladies at the table was. And she said, I wanted to stop and say hi to them because I couldn't go to their lunch because I promised to be here with you guys. So, but that's cool. That's
Martin Donovan says that they like Cody's, and the funny, I assume that they're remarking about the food that we liked and didn't like.
Right, right.
What was it? Judy's one that didn't care for Cody's. And if you listen to her, though, it was because of the consistency. And she is correct about that. And I see that a lot around here. Maybe it's because of the health problem. I don't know what the problem is, but to be honest with you, I don't own these businesses. That's their problem, not my problem. They need to take care of it if they want me to come back and spend money. But you go to Cody's on a Monday, and everything's fine. Everything tastes good. Everything's great. The service is great and all this and that. A week later, you get guests to come to your house. You say, well, let's go down to Cody's. I'd get a good steak or something down. You go down to Cody's. You sit there for a half an hour before somebody comes to your table. And when they do get to your table, they get your order. They bring it to the table, and the order's messed up. I ordered a medium well. Then this steak is rare. I mean, it's just that.
Yeah.
One day's great. Next day, not so good.
Yeah, and that's the way with a lot. You notice on the top 10, there was no country clubs in there. Because that's the problem that they have. There is no consistency. Not that one isn't better than the other. My preference is Havana. But you know, Jose also said that he didn't like Havana, but he hadn't been there in several years.
I could say they changed owners so many times.
They have. And the Suleiman, FMK has taken over half of them, and the Suleiman family's taken over the other half. And they know how to run a business. I mean, it's more expensive, but they know what people want, and that's why they've been able to maintain here when other places didn't. And I know, just like Bluefin up here, I always liked it when I went in. The same people own Coastal Del Mar. When Fred's not there, which is the guy that runs FMK, when he's not there, things slack off a little bit, you know. And I think that's probably the way with most of them. And I said, when the boss isn't there to keep an eye on them. And I said, he's there a lot of the time. And he makes them do what they're supposed to do. So that's when you get the good quality, the good service. When somebody's standing over them, you need good managers if you're not going to be there. That's for sure. But yeah, and somebody said they like the Flying Biscuit for their grits.
I've never been there either.
Yeah, and it is good. It really, really good. Last time I was there, they didn't have the tables outside, and then they were putting tables outside. And I've always intended to go back and check it out, but it's we don't do breakfast that much. It's like the new Broken Egg down here. It's okay, but we don't do breakfast that much, and so we haven't been there. 2J's has just been here so many years that we go there when we do breakfast because we just been here so long.
But Martin, you talk about the corner drugstores. If you go to what's the name of that town in California? Had the Hope Corner drugstore.
Julian,
California. They actually have one there, and it's pretty good size.
Yeah.
And I actually went in there, and they made me a cherry phosphate. It tasted so good. I had two.
Yeah. As I said, it was as good as I remembered. I didn't see the foot-long hot dog, but other than that, it just reminded me of going with my dad.
Just saying, if you had to be in that direction.
Yeah.
We're all not going to go out there just for that.
Yeah, and then and Julian is in the San Diego County. It's in the mountains of San Diego County, and nice place. They're known for their apples. I think there was like every other store sold some kind of apple something. Apple dumplings, apple pie, apple donuts. I mean, they're really.
That was the apple place across the street that had the apple cider donuts.
Yeah. And I said
Those are pretty good too.
Everywhere you looked, it was apple something. Gringo Loco said that his folks used to go up there and buy baskets full of apples. So they were known for their apples. That is a cute little town. It really is.
Where's Gringo Loco been, by the way?
I haven't seen him for a while. I think
is he another one of them tourists that disappears?
No, I'm not sure, but I think I read something about him moving. I know what you meant. But I think I read something about him actually moving, coming back to the States or something.
So Jing Hackman is 93 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I know he lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He's got a ranch or something there. And I've never been to Santa Fe. I've been to Albuquerque several times, but and Santa Fe's about, I don't even know how far, I'll say 70, 80 miles north of Albuquerque. We've always meant to go there. But see, it's an artsy-fartsy town, a lot like this other town over here. What's this town called?
Mount Dora.
Mount Dora. It's an artsy-fartsy town. And
I love Mount Dora.
I just don't get into all that, so I just don't go.
Yeah, I just find you a place and park you so I can walk around. JC Comer says cranes mate for life. Well, I didn't know that, but But
They
that's
do.
kind of cool.
I often wondered what happened when one of them got ate by an alligator. What's the other one do? Go looking? Die
Goes to the
alone?
bar and drinks.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, David S. said it was Milan won the Indiana State Basketball Championship in 1954 with a school that had 67 boys in it. Yeah, and that was a good movie too. It really, really was. And I said I wasn't familiar
See,
with.
Sherry Campbell's doing what all women should be doing. Read the comment.
What's that?
Cooking.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a great weekend, week, everybody. Time to go cook pinto beans, sweet honey cornbread, fried potatoes, chopped fresh green onions, and sweet pepper relish to use as a topping on the beans ice box pudding. Son of a bitch!
No tomatoes. Tomatoes isn't in season yet.
Oh, yeah, Indiana. Everything comes with sliced tomatoes on the side.
Oh, yeah. And I said that's another month, I think so. Well, enjoy, Sherry. We'll be thinking of you because that sounds awful good. Yeah.
Chet A says hello.
Yeah. Sherry Campbell says, Skip and I will be over. When will it be ready? That's what Jerry Bell said.
You said what?
Said, when will it be ready? Skip and I will be over.
Oh, you damn right I will. But she probably don't live here. She probably lives way up north somewhere. That just sounds like northern food.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time you've been to a restaurant around here that served beans and cornbread? Nothing around here.
And she said it's in about an hour it'll be ready, but y'all have a long trek to come.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But now I live in Georgia. Interesting thing about Georgia compared to Florida. I just saw this on the news this morning. I just thought it was interesting that the two southern states, Florida and Georgia, have swapped. They've flipped. Georgia at one time was the largest population in the southeast, and there was more people moving to Georgia than any other state in the United States. I can believe that if you've ever been downtown Georgia and seen the stuff they got down there.
Okay.
But over the last, I'll say 5 years or something like that, it's flopped now. Georgia is losing population, and Florida is gaining population. So we've topsy-turvied.
They found out it still gets cold in Georgia.
Well, northern
so
part.
you just keep going south.
Yeah, northern part will get cold, but not all of Georgia.
Hey, chat. Mary Landis says, hi, Skip and Sue. We enjoy Porch Settin every Wednesday. We are originally from Fort Wayne, but now live in Georgia. Jeff and Mary. Well, hi, guys. You know, we still got kids up there, and one of them lives in Fort Wayne. And like I said, he seems to like it. We never lived too far away from there. But we never directly lived in Fort Wayne.
It is. It's winter food. Baked beans and cornbread.
Yeah.
That's winter food. Chili, winter food. Vegetable soup, any kind of soup, winter food. Meatloaf actually is a winter food. Because you're outside working, it's cold as hell out there from shoveling snow or whatever you're doing. You go in the house, you get the snow boots off, you kind of start to get warmed up, but you walk into the kitchen, it's always warm and smells good. That's what makes it winter food.
Yes. Yeah, and I make, it never gets winter here, so I make a lot of the winter food here because it's stuff that we like. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Porch Settin 3. I can't believe I've done that. I got to figure out how that's got to work. I mean, YouTube wouldn't put that up there if it didn't work.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to get it. I have to do some investigating. I'm sure I can screw this up another day. I'm sure I can.
Yeah. Well, maybe, ask Wrestler if there's something.
He's got enough to do. I've got him to check on that YouTube email or that video mail I got. And I same thing saying, hey, look, I'm leery about clicking on this stuff because I got hacked that once and I just don't want to do this again. I said, did you get one? Because he's a creator. So if they sent this out to all creators, that means he should have got one also.
Yeah.
If he did not get one, then that tells me that maybe I shouldn't be doing anything. But what I'm scared of, if I don't do something in 7 days, and let's say it's legit, that means my channel will come to an end. And I won't have no say-so about it.
No. Well, they're...
I put way too much work in this channel to do that.
Yeah. Martin Donlan says the best dinner when we visited for the month of May at Nancy Lopez. Oh, shucks was second. Yeah, Nancy Lopez, as far as the country clubs, that's where you want to go to eat because I've never heard a bad thing about them. And like I said, they're owned by the Suleiman family. And like I said, those people know how to run a restaurant. And I said before they took it over, though, the people that was running it before, they had it down pat. Everybody went there, especially if they wanted something special.
Lobster
you want
tail.
Birthday dinners.
Lobster tail.
Yeah, lobster. And
they were known for their
yeah,
lobster
they always
tails on
went to
Friday.
Lopez.
Fish on Friday, they serve lobster tail.
And they actually have, I think they have cooking classes there. And they also have them at Prima uptown. But I think they also give them at
Patreon lunch
Lopez.
up there. The hotel manager there, whoever it was, he actually came outside and talked to everybody and asked if everything was okay. And I kind of respect that when the manager will actually come out there and make sure that his staff is doing what they're supposed to be doing.
I was kind of put out because we were actually put out in the sun, and I didn't like that part.
I didn't like that part either.
But you know, it was availability and what we had to do to get the seating. So, but yeah, I didn't like that part because there was no actual shade. You know, on one side of the building it was okay, but you know, when the sun come across it. But other than that, like I said, the service, the place is
There's
really
people
pretty.
in the world that's getting blowed up by bombs. Other people are starving, and we're complaining because we weren't in the shade. You have to put perspective on things.
Yeah, hey, they were taking my money. That's all I think about. So,
it's going to rain.
Yeah, it's going to rain. It's 1:46.
It's heading this way. We got 2 hours in?
1:46. So we got 15 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, be advised.
We're not froze up yet. So.
Yeah, be advised that the storm is coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, but like I said, as long as we're good, we'll be here until at least 2.
Now it's starting to feel more comfortable.
Getting the breeze now.
Yeah. Well, the temperature's dropping. I can feel it.
Oh, and Ronald. Well, hello, Ronald. He said, thank you for calling me yesterday. I talked to Kevin, but I'm not going to rent his house for 4 months next year. Well, that's up to you. You know, we just got you in touch with him. You know, we knew that he wanted to.
That's all I do is get in touch.
Yeah.
And I really don't even like doing that so much because I always end up getting in the middle of everything. You know, somebody will send me an email and say, pass it on to him. And they'll send an email back and pass it on to him. And give me his phone number. And I don't know if that guy wants you to have his phone number. And so I just don't even like even doing that kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, I don't mind helping somebody out, renting the house or selling the house. I've sold a lot of houses right here in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that at all. But, you know, when I do a house that's for sale, and this happens constantly to the point where I'm almost to the point where I don't even want to do it anymore, I will do the video and look at any of them. And if it's for sale by whoever, I don't care if it's Ira Miller. If there's a sign in the window saying who the real estate agent is, I put that in the video. I say, I don't sell houses. I just show them to you. I say that for a reason, and then I'll show you that phone number and who to call. And I guarantee you, after that video hits, within the first 2 hours, I'm going to get 15 emails saying, well, how much is it? I just told you, if you have any questions, here's the number to call.
Yeah. Rems, I said, we are all smoked up here in the Northeast from the Canadian wildfires. It's like a heavy fog. Well, darn, that's, you know, that's kind of a buzzkill that you have to put up with all that smoke.
It is. I didn't realize it went that far.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's like half the United States.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. But I've seen it out west when California was on fire during the Santa Ana winds, and they routed us one time to even go past I-40. We weren't even allowed to go to I-40. And I-40, you know, takes you straight east through Albuquerque and all that. It was all shut down. I mean, that's how far that smoke and stuff came from, I'll say, southern part of California. And we had to go up to Las Vegas to get on 70 to come back to Indianapolis.
Yeah. Ronald says it's smoky and 70 in Ohio from the Canadian fires.
I know. And then I'm just amazed the smoke went that far. That's a lot.
Oh, Martin says they had escargot from Nancy Lopez and said they loved it.
Escargot.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that snails?
Yes. Yeah, the only time he ever tasted snails, I think, was
Been a long time ago.
at the prom.
I don't know.
Our high school
I
prom.
don't know.
That's a long time
That
ago.
was fish eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was, what do they call that? Fish eggs. It had red and black. I said, I like the black better. I forget what it was. What do they call it? I am so classy. What was that? Fish eggs, fish eggs. It's a delicacy. It's really expensive
Yeah.
stuff. We had it at our high school. We had a ball. And I don't mean like ball like fun ball. We had a ball at the.
Everybody has a high school prom. Junior and senior
but ours
prom.
was at the ballroom in
Yeah.
Indianapolis. It's
The
a top
Indiana
thing up there.
ballroom, yeah.
It was at the Indiana ballroom, and they had this fish eggs. What's that called?
I'm just going to
I'm
let you
gonna look.
flounder.
Jerry will tell me. Caviar. Jessica Moore, my favorite granddaughter, by the way, says it's called caviar. That's what we had. It had red and black, and I tried both of it because I've never had it before, and I liked the black better. It didn't have the texture you'd think it would have. I think it came on like little Melba pieces of toast, maybe,
Yeah,
or
Melba
something.
toast, and they had little crackers.
Yeah,
And, they had it on different things.
Yeah, I ate some. I don't remember how much, but it wasn't bad. I didn't think.
Yeah, but a little salty, but.
By those of you who don't know, Jessica Moore in the chat here, that's my favorite granddaughter.
And Ronald Pest says, will you ever use Oh Shucks and your favorite place to eat?
I like O'Shucks.
Yeah, and that's what I said. We couldn't put all our favorite. We only was allowed 2 for each one.
Well, it had to be golf cart accessible on this one.
Oh, yes, it had to be golf cart accessible on this last one. So.
And then, leave it to Linda to tell you about one that's golf cart accessible, but you got to drive your golf cart down a sidewalk to get there.
Oh, and Brenda Billingsley says, I don't like anything that looks like runny snot.
Me neither. That's why I don't eat, what do they call it, clams? Oysters.
Oysters, yeah.
I've seen them. People that like oysters will die for them. They love them. Either you love them or you hate them. There's no in between about it, I don't think. And I know people that love oysters, and they eat them down there at O'Shucks, and they all tell me that they're good. They all tell me they're good. I can't tell you they're good. I just tell you they say they're good, because to me it looks like a bowl full of snot, and I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah, that's what she said. Mark Ryan says, my wife and I are both 56 and loved our recent visit to the Villages in May. What advice would you offer us as we consider a move from Iowa? Thanks.
Well, it's a cultural difference, because when you get down here, everybody down here is from somewhere else. So you're liable to, from Iowa, you might even check, and I don't know if it's true or not, but every state seems to have a club. There might be an Iowa club here.
There is.
And then you can go to these club things and you meet people that might even be from your same town and you didn't even know it.
Or people you've worked with in the past.
People you worked with.
Yeah.
Only thing I can tell you when you move down here, my only thing is just don't be afraid to talk to people. That does seem to be a thing where people say, I just didn't want to bother them. I didn't want to say anything to them. They sent me emails all the time saying, hey, we saw you and Sue over here. We wanted to say something, but we didn't want to bother you. You're not bothering us. We see us. Do what them guys did down at Sawgrass when I was down there. They were yelling, hey! That's how you get my attention.
They were drunk too. But
well, I didn't care. They
got our attention.
Yeah, they were drinking, but who cared? They wouldn't bother nobody.
Yeah. But yeah, what would you consider as advice? Don't bring a lot of stuff with you.
You talking about moving or visiting?
Moving.
Well,
as they moved from Iowa to here.
Has she been here before?
They were on a lifestyle visit. They loved it.
Okay.
And so what kind of advice you'd give them if they're moving here?
And they're from Iowa. If you try to bring your house full of furniture down here, it's going to cost you $10,000
at least
to truck that stuff down here. Just do yourself a favor. Give it to charities. Write it off on your taxes or something, and then come down here with a little bit of money you got when you sell whatever it is you can sell and get rid of. And just come down here and start over. For that kind of money, you can just start buying furniture. And if you saw, well, you haven't seen the video yet. I did a video of a house that people just bought, and they bought most of their furniture at consignment stores here, which Sue's talked about before. The consignment furniture here are not like they are up north.
Yeah.
And I defy you to look at any of this furniture and say it looks heavily used. It doesn't.
No, they're very picky about what they take.
Some of them, if you got something you want to sell, they'll come look at it and let you know if they'll take it. And we have some stuff that's pretty good, but believe it or not, they told us no on one.
Right.
They did. They said, nah, it's got a scratch on it. We can't take that.
Yeah.
But really, they did it. So I kind of respect that. But just know that the consignment stores here, the good consignment stores, and Sue knows where all of them are at. And now Kevin's wife knows where most of them are at. And she went to one or two of them that I've never been to. And they'll tell you the same thing. They're on the chat. You can ask them. They'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you. The consignment stores there are pretty cool.
Well, and the good thing about them is you don't have to wait 6 weeks to 6 months to get it. You know, most of them have delivery. It's probably going to charge you a little bit, but most of them have delivery, and you can get it usually within a week. And that's why they were only down here for a few weeks, and then they pretty much got their house set up, and like it looks great. So
Jack,
I would, not everybody does that, but like before I would go out looking for new, I'd check them out.
I'm going to try to say this name.
Okay.
Only because everybody laughs at me when I try to pronounce the name.
Okay.
Jacques Van Auken. In the air alert to stay in because of the fires in New York.
Okay.
So.
How about Jackie?
Is it Jackie?
I don't know. But you got used to calling Kevin Jacques.
Well, I was just looking at Van Auken. Sounds like possibly German. So I'm thinking that there might be Jacques.
Oh, well, you know.
Am I wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. And yes, Jessica, he did eat the caviar.
Yeah, I liked it. It was all right.
Yeah.
Today I may not like it. Over the years, as you grow older, those of you young kids out there that watch this, who's that? But it seemed like about every 10 years, something in your body is going to change. Something. And over the years, I just know that my taste buds are off. Things don't taste as good to me today as it used to. Certain things that I would never eat when I was younger, like broccoli, asparagus, I wouldn't eat cauliflower.
Oh, yeah. No green stuff.
Well, no, it's just any of that. Cauliflower is not green.
No.
And what's that round? I call it cabbage.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. Now, I will say I hated them then. I hate them today. That hasn't changed much. But today, whenever she's making vegetable soup, believe it or not, I look for that stuff in there. Why isn't there any cauliflower in here? Trust me when I tell you, though, asparagus is only good one or two ways. You can't boil it. It tastes like crap. You can't put it in soup. It gets real limpy and ooshy. It's just not good at all. But if you put them in the oven or put them on a grill and grill them for a steak or whatever, I love it. You can pick them up and eat them like a French fry.
Right.
Those are good that way. So I eat things today that I would never eat before. And then years ago, I ate things then that to me tasted really, really, really good. And today I eat that same thing and it just tastes okay. So I know my taste buds are really getting off.
Yeah.
And it's a textural thing. I've developed that in my older age. If it's crunchy and like crispy and crunchy, like say chicken wings, if it's crispy on the outside and all that, I love it. But there's so many restaurants that don't know how to make any chicken wing crunchy on the outside. The skin is loose, it moves around. That's a textural thing with me, and I just won't eat it. And I usually, and sometimes, well, O'Shucks is one. I love O'Shucks, don't get me wrong. But they had a special down there for chicken wings, and I hadn't had any for a long while. And it was like $12 for $10 or something. And I said, I think I'd get me some chicken wings. I asked the lady, I said, I'm kind of particular about it. I said, I know I'm an old person, and I'm telling you something. I said, I want them to be crispy on the outside. If I can take my finger and move that skin around, then I don't want it. And she said, oh, no, sir. She said, I guarantee you these will be crispy. I said, okay. I said, I just don't want to hurt your feelings if I send them back. She said, if they're not the way you want them, she said, we'll send them back. So she brings them to me. While she's standing there, I took my finger and touched one of them, and look at this. I said, look at this. I moved the skin all around. And she said, she said, I'm sorry. She said, I don't know why he done that. She said, I told him. She takes them back. He cooks them again. She brings them back to my table. And I said, oh, yeah, those look fine. And she walked away, and I told Sue, I said, I'm not eating these. I took my finger, and I could move the skin around after the second time. They don't know how to cook chicken wings.
Well, for one, it's not easy to do and without burning them. But
Kentucky Fried Chicken don't seem to have a problem.
Well, okay.
I would rather have Kentucky Fried Chicken than any other chicken I've had anywhere in the villages.
Okay. Cheryl Perry says, I'm hoping my husband and I will be able to move down there within a year. I have been already looking to see what I can find for a job as a CNA. Well, Sherry, they have, you go to CNA.
Is that a nurse?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, you shouldn't have any problem with
No,
that.
no. I said they're dying for medical help down here, and they did have
in all the nursing homes and all that
they
stuff.
did have a thing in the paper about, you know, if somebody submitted your name for some kind of medical job, and if you were chosen, then they got a reward for bringing them medical people, because they need doctors, they need nurses. I said, if you go to, was it districtgov.org, and it may have it on there, you know, who you could submit an application to, or what have you. But yeah, they really need the medical help down here, because in the wintertime the population doubles, and there is just no way, all over Florida, there's no way that they can handle all the people. So
William says, stay out of the left lane. I know, William, I hear you. Just don't waste your breath. I'm just telling you.
William, you kill me now.
Yeah, don't waste your breath.
Frankie B says, I bake asparagus with a little olive oil and sprinkle with Parmesan cheese, and she's grilled it that way too.
Did I say that, Ronnie? He's got ushi with question marks
It's
after it. That's what I said, ushi. I said because the asparagus ushi when you cook it. Yeah. Ushi means very,
Ushi, flubbery,
very soft. It's a textural thing with me. It gets like Jello.
Yeah. And Ronnie says asparagus on the grill is great. It is.
Yes.
I don't.
Also, I said her name wrong. Wrong. Jackway is a different spelling for Jackie. Okay. She was right and I was wrong. Okay. But I said your last name right, though, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah. Die for medical help. Yeah, that was kind of I didn't mean that on purpose. I kind of screwed up there. But
what's that?
Dying for medical help here. I said they were dying for medical help here.
Oh, no, that wasn't a joke. That's just what I get it now.
Yeah.
No, but there is. They've had advertisements there. They're trying to attract doctors down there.
Well, because they
my doctor, for example, I'm in the Village's health system. This is my third doctor in 9 years, my primary care doctor. This doctor was bribed to come up here like 1 or 2 days a week from Orlando Hospital. She doesn't live here. She lives down there. So I got a suspicion that as soon as the doctor thing kind of gets a little better, she's going to go back to Orlando, and I'm going to be on my 4th doctor.
Oh, my. And Marjorie Smith says, terrible smoke from Canada here in New York City. The sky looks like sunset at 2 p.m. Air quality is bad. Oh, honey, I feel for you. You know, come on down to Florida. We don't have any smoke down here. You know what? It's after 2, and I've seen lightning, and so I think we need to wrap this up.
Marsha has been a member for 34 months.
34 months. Well, thank you, Marsha.
I didn't realize I knew her that long.
Yeah.
Seems like she just moved here. Man, time flies.
And Tammy says, any idea where and when the new hospital will be built? They have it on a permanent hold right now, so we're not sure. Like I said, we're not sure if it's because of material or because they're arguing over what county it goes in, or we're not sure why, but it's on a permanent hold. As soon as we find out, you know, if they're in the makings, we'll let you know.
Yeah, they're pretty secretive about stuff anymore. They don't let you know, and some people will tell you they know, but I look at it, and maybe they do, but I look at a lot of the stuff that they've said in the past 5 years, and some of it did not come true.
Well, for one, even that they were building a hospital.
You guys hear that? That's thunder.
That's what I said. There's lightning too, so that's why I said we need to wrap it up.
Trying to think about the Foursquare. Remember all that? We did a video specifically to let people know that there was going to be a Foursquare. We knew that. We didn't know where, but we knew there was going to be a Foursquare because we had access to Wildwood's permits that they give the developer in the contract to build homes. And we read it. We knew what it said. And so Linda even brought it up about people don't realize that we knew that. We did it on WNL, but you guys didn't watch WNL. This is why we don't do that anymore. And everybody kept saying, no, Sawgrass is going to be remember that? The Foursquare. We said, no, Sawgrass is not. But they argued with us. And then he said, well, they're going to put the Foursquare up there by Edges on the Green. They just haven't built it yet. And I said, no, they're not. It's going to be, we didn't know where, but it's going to be in a town center very similar to the 3 town centers that they have now. and now this came true, and everybody is acting like, "Hey, look here, we're getting a 4 square." He goes, "We told you."
Yeah, don't you hate told you so's?
Yeah, I love it when I'm right because I'm wrong so many times.
Well, yeah, love sitting here talking with you, but I think
Yeah,
we're going to hightail it.
it's starting to lightning out.
Yeah,
here.
Mark says in Hawkins it's going to dump hard. So
Well, it's just right here.
I think it's going to do that here too. So
Look how low them clouds are, and right there is where the lightning comes from.
Right, Grandpa Eric says that in Delaware the smoke is suffocating.
Just so you guys know, there's more lightning strikes in the state of Florida than anywhere else in the world.
Yes.
New people don't know that. So going to move here. If you're going to move here, this is information you. Whoops, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that was it. It froze up. That's our 2-hour mark. We'll
Bye,
see you all
y'all.
later. Thanks for coming.
See you on the other side.
Do I look like I'm confused?
You see your nose hairs.
All right. We'll see y'all later.